Hello everyone and welcome to the third annual 12 Days of Christmas for my channel. If you are brand new to this, you haven't seen me do this before, basically every day for 12 days I do kind of a sometimes Christmassy, sometimes just kind of different crafty activity kind of deal concerning one of the shows that I've covered over the channel every single day. So in regards to this year, actually, I had 17 shows to choose from. Technically 18, but I've decided to hold one show off until next year, so I don't really need to count it. So yeah, I did have to be a bit savage cutting some shows from the list this year, so not every single show that I've covered on the channel this year is going to be featured in the countdown. But I've kind of found some workaround, etc. But yeah, I've been doing that for the past 2 years, and this year makes it the third time we're doing this, and it's always been one of my favourite things to do. I like doing kind of different stuff on the channel. You know, there will be reactions as part of this kind of thing, as there always has been, but there's going to be different kinds of videos in there as well. Like this first day, for example. So essentially when I've selected the 12 shows I want to cover, I just give them a random number, go through a random number generator, and then that's how I come up with the order for the 12 days. So there's no thought to it than that. It's completely randomly generated. So yeah, it just so happened that probably the most Halloween-y show that I've covered this year is going to be first on this 12 Days of Christmas. And it seems a weird pick for a Christmas-themed thing anyway. But day one is The Haunting of Bly Manor. I didn't think I was actually going to do it as part of the countdown, but I ended up actually coming up with an idea that I thought might be quite fun. So yeah, obviously more of a Halloween-y show for sure. And in fact I even did cover it during the Halloween season this year. This was my Halloween binge watch. We did Haunting of Hill House the year before, Bly Manor this year. I imagine next year will be Midnight Mass. But who can say, it's all up in the air for now. But yes, we're going to kick off with The Haunting of Bly Manor. I adored that show so much. And I just kind of figured, like, what could I maybe do with it? I started initially going down the thought of dollhouses. Maybe, like, recreating a dollhouse somehow, but that's a massive project anyway. An expensive project, as it turns out, as well. So I was like, no thanks. But then I thought, oh, maybe I can make, like, a doll of one of them and make it kind of crafty, so that's kind of Christmassy. In the end, I kind of settled for maybe kind of like making a diorama kind of deal and trying my best to make a mini version of Bly Manor itself. And then I thought, well, how can I make that Christmassy? And I thought maybe we set the diorama itself at Christmas time, so I could kind of have the manor decorated with Christmassy stuff. I could have it be set in the snow. Just try and make like a Christmas Bly Manor scene and see how it turns out. Could be a disaster. I'm not very good at model making, etc. But either way, I thought it would be an interesting way of kicking off the countdown with a spooky show, a very non-Christmassy show. I've got some cards, I've got some glue, I've got some paints, I've got some other little bits and pieces that I've bought to try and bring a mini-ish Bly Manor to life. I don't know how scale-wise it's going to work out. I have got a few pictures to reference. But initially I'm just going to try and like draw Bly Manor onto some card, maybe make some different sides to it, so I can kind of maybe assemble some kind of 3D thing, and then I can decorate it, etc. from there. No clear plans yet, but we're going to see how it goes, so let's get started. Okay, so I've got my main setup here for this first section of the project. I've also put a little image there, well, I say little, it's bigger than me, but an image in the top right of Bly Manor that I found online, just as like my main reference point. I'm still not sure if I'm going to make it like an actual 3D model, or if it's just going to be like a flat surface, because when I actually like, you know, when you actually look at it, I think I'm probably going to angle it, so you can't really see that there's not going to be much to it. I don't know what the sides and the back of Bly Manor look like anyway, so I'm not really going to fill in those details. But yeah, I am kind of just go with my gut on how I think I want this to look. And I think initially I'm just going to try and not be too reliant on like getting everything exactly right detail wise. I'm going to try and make it a bit more stylized. I think that's the best chance I have of it looking okay. But yeah, we're going to see how it goes. And I think I'm going to leave the part on the right hand side with like the balcony section. I think I'm going to make that a separate piece and maybe then stick that onto the side, just so therefore I do have a bit kind of moving back a bit, so it does actually look like there is a balcony there, like I can actually make a little balcony section as opposed to just pretending that there's one there and having it be like one flat thing. But yeah, I might do the same with the chimneys and stuff. I'm not sure. It's all a work in progress. So for now, let's just see how this goes. I don't know what I'm going to do about the rest of the grounds and stuff. I don't really have any plans for that. I think the core thing is just going to be the manor itself rather than like the courtyard in front of it. I might do a bit of it just because I'm what I'm picturing for the scene. But it may not be accurate in terms of like all those hedges and stuff there because I don't know how on earth I'd do that. But yeah, there's a lot to kind of cover, and for now I'm just going to focus on the main structure of the building. I don't need to worry about like the vines and stuff. I imagine I'll paint those on separately. But as long as I get the core details right, I think we should be good. So let's give this a go. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. This has taken me about 40 minutes to do, which is a lot, but I feel like we're getting there. This is going to be quite big. I've unknowingly made the scale of it quite something. So compared to the picture you can see, you've got like the main big bulk of the building, the centerpiece there with like the front doors on it. That's where I've gone up to. That's where I've managed to draw up to. So from the left end there, right until that building. So my original plan was for on this one sheet of card to also have the little section next to it also on here, and then do the balcony bit separate. But I ran out of room, so those are going to have to be two separate pieces altogether that I just glued together somehow. But that's fine. So it is actually going to be quite a hefty thing. So I'm definitely not going to do too much with like the courtyard scenes and stuff as well, because that will take me ages. So I still haven't finished it after 40 minutes. Obviously there's a lot of smudges and stuff from where I made some errors. That does not matter in the slightest because a lot of this is going to be painted over anyway. Same with like the I've just like loosely drawn like some patterns on windows and everything. All of that's going to be completely painted over, so I'm not worried about getting them like 100% accurate. But the main shapes and structures and stuff I think are all there thus far. So we shall see if I can kind of carry this on and successfully finish off the rest of the building. But for now, I think this is a good basis. I'm happy with this. So now I just need to do the rest. Okay, that was another like 20 or so minutes kind of sorting this last little section out, but fully done now with like at least the front on view of what this is going to be. So all in all, about just over an hour kind of drawing this out, erasing mistakes, etc. So these are like the last two little sections, and then what I've just done to try and make sure that they're going to be about the same size so it lines up alright, I've just continued drawing here. So these I can like fold this one, I can cut these out and stick these on to actually form the balcony itself, along with these which are like the supports, so they can be on front as well. So that just gives it a little 3D effect of actually having a balcony. Then I can just paint this like green so it looks like it's the underneath section. But because I did that in that way so I could make sure everything's the same width and stuff, there is an extra little bit of Bly Manor after the balcony section and the last little part of the building, so I've just drawn that up in the corner here so I can stick that on the end as well. Hopefully it will all come together alright. Keeping my fingers crossed, we will see how it goes. But yeah, I guess now I'm going to tentatively cut this all out, try and fit it together in a cohesive way, and we shall go from there. Okay, so it's a bit later on in the day now. I've had to go and like record some other stuff, but I did actually, if I can get it all out properly, I stuck the whole thing together. So this is what we're working with. This is the Bly Manor kind of base. So yeah, I'm actually quite pleased with how this has initially turned out. It could all go wrong still, obviously. Not really knowing what's a good angle. Just cover my face. But yeah. We also have, well, very complicated system to make a base for it. I glued 2 sheets of card together. So that's going to be what it's going to lie on. So the plan is to paint this up kind of like, I guess, probably just all green, to be honest. We are going to cover a lot of this in fake snow anyway, to like make it all wintry and stuff. So yeah, that's probably just going to be all green. There might be a path running down the middle. I haven't really decided yet. Either way, that's what we're going to actually attach this thing to, ultimately. So I think what I am going to do is just kind of, I don't know, put some tabs or something, glue some like stands, I guess, on the back just to hold it in place. Maybe not make it like a full 3D thing because time's getting on, life's too short, and you know, I don't want to faff around too much, especially if it may not even turn out particularly great. But I'm actually, from a base level like this, I'm pleased with it. So next thing now is painting it up. So I'm going to mix colours and paints and stuff as accurately as I can. Maybe take a few creative liberties with it and how it looks eventually. I kind of did that when I drew this out anyway. But we are going to get the main thing painted as well as the extra balcony piece that I've put together to stick on top. So that's going to go in that space there. And yeah, we'll paint that properly, and then I will go over the details in like fine liners and stuff just to make it look like brickwork, etc. And then I think once that's dry, I'll paint over it again to add like the vines and stuff that grow on Bly Manor. Then I'll paint the base, stick this onto the base, and then we can add the final touches because I've got some like little kind of lights. They're not actual lights, but they look like little like fairy lights. That I can like pretend are attached to the roof, and then we can add some fake snow to it as well, just to finish it off, and hopefully it will look half decent. So that's going to be the plan now, so time to paint. Okay, so the actual manor itself is done. Try and show you a good view of it there. I'm fairly happy with it. I think I was just very aware of the time, so the windows were a bit messy, etc. I'm actually really happy with the vines and stuff, how that came out. I think that did help it come together quite a bit. But that took 2 hours to paint this and like go over it in fine liner and add like the brickwork. Hopefully you can kind of see I've made the bricks in like an orange fine liner, sticking on the balcony piece. Obviously if you look at it just like that, it's like, what the hell are you doing? But I think I'm designing this so you just view it from like front on, so you can kind of get the impression there, like there's a balcony there with the pillars supporting it. I don't think that looks so bad. So yeah, that is, for me, at least for now, done before we add like the final touches to it, which is probably still quite some way away, considering that took me 2 hours. Although I'm probably going to just try and power through painting the kind of support, the base for it. I think I'm literally just going to do probably like a gravel path like the one in the picture, just in the center of it, and then the rest is just going to be I say like a grass kind of area. I was going to think maybe go for green, but since this is winter, I can kind of say like the bushes and all that aren't there because it's Christmas time. It's winter, all the plant life's probably like dead and gone, apart from the vines on the manor. Ignore that. So maybe I'll go for a more like orangey browny kind of mess around the sides, so it's kind of like leaves or something on the ground. Doesn't properly matter anyway because a lot of it is going to be covered in snow and I'm going to be placing the manor on top of it anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to paint that now, and once that's dried, luckily this paint does dry very, very quickly. That really helped with painting the manor, otherwise that probably would have been 3 hours, not 2. Hopefully it won't take too long, and then I can put the final touches together tonight, because it's getting quite late. It's 20 past 10 at the moment, so this has been a long ass project, but yeah, let's go. Okay, so the kind of base is now drying because there's a lot of paint on that, so that might take a little while yet. But I thought while I do wait for that, I could at least get some of the Christmassy decoration I had planned done on the actual manor, because I bought these. I think these are designed to like be used in dollhouses, so they're like little lights. They don't actually light up, they're not LEDs or anything, but they give the impression of lighting, and I thought I could kind of stick these along the top here, maybe like on the roof, to give the impression that they've put some Christmas lights up, so I make it actually fit the theme. I'm going to try and glue it on as best I can, maybe with some PVA glue or something. It's going to be a bit fiddly perhaps, but we've come this far, I might as well go the whole hog. Alright, so we've actually attached them, and that was nowhere near as bad as I thought that was going to be. I thought it was going to be really fiddly, quite a pain. That being said, the glue hasn't dried yet, so it could all still fall off and go wrong. But I think if I just leave that to dry, that's actually going to be all good. So yes, Christmas at Bly Manor is finally coming together. So yeah, I'm now going to make some kind of supports for this so it can stand up on the base. Then I can check to see if it's dry. And then we are ready for the final touch, which is going to be adding all the snow. We're kind of all done now with the base being dry, so that's all good. The lights and the glue and all that for those, I think, is still kind of drying, and I want that to be properly secure before we really mess about with that. But for the base, I think I'm just going to make a few structures kind of like this, just folding some card, reinforcing it at the back with a stand there, glue that in place, maybe fill it, like stuff it with some other like shreds of card or something, just to like give it a proper foundation. Make a couple of those along the structure, and then I can maybe, I don't know if I want to actually stick the house and the manor even on here. Maybe I just lean it against those supports. I'll have to wait and see. But that's the core idea behind that. If that works, that works. If it doesn't, I will find something else. But that's going to be the basis that I try it on. But since this is dry, I'm still waiting for the manor and the lights to dry on that. I thought we could get started with the finishing touches to this base here, because it's going to be set at Christmas time. It's winter, and they are dreaming of a white Christmas. Old Miles and Flora there. They want to wake up on Christmas morning at Bly Manor, and you know, it's snow as far as the eye can see, because they've got nowhere to be. It's not like they have any family to visit, is it? So yeah, I thought we could cover this setting with snow and see how that kind of looks. I think we'll keep like the drive here fairly clean, 'cause I imagine, you know, everyone would keep that kind of secure for cars coming in and out, but maybe the rest of it we can kind of litter with a lot of snow. And I actually did buy some fake snow stuff. I don't know how good it is. It's called Battlefield Snow. I think it's not. Yeah, it's normally used for like miniatures and stuff and set dressing for them. But I'm using it for a model of Bly Manor because why not? So I'm going to try and just, you know, pour some glue over this and then put the snow on top. Hopefully it looks good. If it does look alright, I'm going to tentatively try and sprinkle some on the roof of Bly Manor as well to look like it has snowed onto the building as well. And then I think we're basically going to be all done after a long, long time. Okay, not bad. Mixed results. This side here, closer to the webcam, actually doesn't look too bad. That was the second one I did, which is probably why. This one hasn't worked out quite so well. Bits I missed and then had to fill back in again. It's kind of all clumped and stuff. So that's not as great. But I think what I'll do is I'll just like position the manor, you know, a bit forward this way so it actually blocks out some of that. But yeah, this is the first time I've ever used this kind of stuff, so, you know, it's not too bad for first go. It gets blimmin' everywhere. This could take years for me to clean up. But yeah, I actually quite like how it looks. I do think the effect comes across pretty well, so I'm happy with that. If Bly Manor and the lights and stuff are now glued on properly, I think I'm just going to dust a bit of snow on the roof there as well, and then we can fully assemble it and we'll finally be done. Okay, so we've added some snow there. You can just see it on the roof. I think overall it looks quite good. I think I'm just not an expert in applying it and everything. That would just take practice, because I've never used anything like that before. But I think you get the gist of it. I think the general effect of it does work. So I'm actually quite happy with how that's all turned out. Now it's time to see if it's all going to fit together and get assembled. I think what I'm going to do, just because it's very awkward to like have it all set up on the table here, and for you to be able to see all of it, I think I'm just going to set it up elsewhere, get a photo of it, and then I can talk about it with the photo on screen, just so it's a bit easier to kind of view exactly what the whole thing looks like, I think. So, all being well, it's time to assemble this and have it all completed. And here we are. It's been a long, arduous process. All in all, that probably took a good 4.5, 5 hours from start to finish. It's been a lot longer for me personally, but I've had breaks for dinner and stuff. But it is currently 11:30 in the evening. So this took a long time. I knew it would. I was prepared that this was going to be like an all-day thing, so I'm not like hugely surprised by it. I think my biggest surprises really were how easy it was to stick the lights on. I thought it was going to be really fiddly. It actually wasn't too bad. The glue and everything held really well. I guess actually drawing the thing took a lot longer than I thought. And I was not prepared for how messy the fake snow was. My God, it is everywhere. I think I'm just going to have to throw this entire table cover away. That's the only way to properly clean it. But yeah, it took a long time, but we are done. You can see it is the photo at the bottom. So I had my reference image at the top there that obviously we've been using for all the video thus far. And then at the bottom is the final product that I've made. It stood up fairly well in the end with the stands that I'm using. Not perfect, you can kind of see one of the ends is a bit swooping forwards, but not too bad. I'm actually really happy with how the balcony looks and turned out. And actually, I think the effect comes across quite well with that. And yeah, maybe you can't see the snow as well in the photo, but it is also, you know, it's very late here, so I think with better lighting, that would come across a lot better. But I need to get this video completely done today, so I can't just wait for tomorrow to get stuff done and to get better lighting and stuff. But overall, I'm actually really happy with it. I wasn't sure how I felt about it as I was painting it, but I think once I kind of painted on the vines and stuff, it really came together for me. And I am genuinely impressed with that, considering it's not something I really do ever. I don't think it's too bad of an effort. I'm actually quite pleased with it. I could see myself actually hanging on to that and maybe just storing that somewhere. So yeah, I'm just staring at it. I'm not just looking nowhere in particular. It's down there. That's where the photo is. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with that. And it's a nice celebration of The Haunting of Bly Manor, which was a show I really loved. Owen and Hannah will forever be captured in my heart. I adored those two. I mean, all the characters were great. All the twists and turns. Really wonderful story, much like Hill House was as well. I look forward to seeing what else we're going to be getting in terms of like Mike Flanagan stuff with Midnight Mass, which is probably something I will save until next Halloween, and anything else he kind of has planned in future as well. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to finally do and finally get done. Christmas at Bly Manor. I'm sure it would be such a lovely time for us all, apart from all the ghosts and death and, you know, but let's say this was set after all of those events, you know, it's fine, it's a nice happy place. But yeah, overall, pretty happy with it. I do kind of wish I hadn't made it as big as it was. I think scaling it down would have really helped, but also I think if it was any smaller, I think the lights would actually be a bit too big and look quite stupid on them. I actually think in terms of that, it's not too bad. So maybe it's like a blessing in disguise. I ended up making it a lot bigger than I thought I was going to. But yeah, I did take a few creative liberties with exactly how it looked and some details and stuff. You know, I changed a few elements to make it simpler and a bit more stylized. I feel like that would just work better than trying to properly make it 100% accurate. And yeah, I'm happy with the final result. I think it was a lot of fun to do. Very different sort of thing. But my God, does it take ages? I don't know how people, like, if people like sculpt this out of clay and wood and everything, like, that must take like weeks and weeks to do. Like, that was just one day's effort, which I'm fairly happy with, but obviously it could be 1,000 times better. But I'm happy with that as a little fun celebration of The Haunting of Bly Manor, which I really loved watching this year. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching his reactions too. And yeah, it's nice to kind of take a Halloween-y-esque thing on the channel this year and try and make it Christmassy. Hopefully I succeeded in that. The fake snow certainly helped. But unfortunately I will never get the fake snow out of my hair and this jumper and the floor and the table. So in a way this project will stay with me forever because I will genuinely never be able to forget it. because the fake snow is everywhere. It lives here now. I think it owns more of this flat than I do at this point. But yeah, that's going to be everything for this very first video. Can't wait to edit this down. Bloody hell, like, God knows how much footage into however long this video is. I'm going to be cutting out a lot of faff. But overall, I'm actually really happy with the end result. It was a good time. I had fun with it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching it as well, something a bit different. But yeah, plenty more crafts and stuff to come across these 12 days of Christmas. Reactions as well, a few different kind of little things, as was the case for the past 2 years. So hopefully you're excited to see what other shows, etc. we're going to be covering this year. But yeah, maybe it makes sense to get the spookiest one out of the way on day one, make it a bit Christmassy, and then we're fully in the swing of things and in the Christmas spirit for the rest. So yeah, overall, I really am happy with how this Christmas at Bly Manor diorama turned out. Let me know your thoughts on Bly Manor if you've seen it. And yeah, who's your favourite character? What's your favourite episode? Your favourite moments? Do let me know, because I really enjoy the discussions surrounding that show. So yeah, that's going to be everything for now. 12 days of Christmas, finally here. I will see you tomorrow for the next day of Christmas. But yeah, until then, thanks for watching.